Hello, good morning, my angels. How's everybody doing today? It's November 29th, 2022. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving and spent it with family and people that mattered. It's important to be with people that you love. My Thanksgiving was really good. I actually got to spend it with some family that I haven't been able to spend time with in quite some time. Y'all, I can't keep the dogs. All morning they've been barking. So we're going to have to go with it. And you're going to have to hear me tell my dog to hush. It's just an ongoing problem this morning. Lucy! Anyways, so my Thanksgiving was good. Again, it was peaceful. It was wholesome. I was with people that mattered a whole lot. Not to say that anybody else that I wasn't with doesn't matter. Just the people that I was surrounded by this Thanksgiving were people that I've known since I was super little, and it was very, very, very important. And the circumstances weren't all that good. My ex-mother-in-law passed away the night before Thanksgiving. But it's all God's plan. And I was trying to tell them, let's celebrate her life. This is a time to not mourn, but a time to celebrate. Death is not something, and I understand if something comes up and it's a tragic death. I can understand that, but when somebody's been dying for a while, and I say natural causes, we should never, ever mourn their deaths. We need to celebrate it, celebrate their life, celebrate what they left, their legacy, and their memories, and not mourn their death. It's not good for them, and it's not good for us. So we had a good time. It was with my family, and it was very important. And I feel very blessed on so many levels. And I don't think I've been on here since Halloween. Halloween was fun. My birthday was good. I got a little sick afterwards, but I was only down a couple days. A cold. I needed the rest. Other than that, everything's been really good. No complaints. I'm super blessed. Minor BS, but that's life. Not everything can be perfect. Wouldn't want it to be, but it would be super boring. Could you imagine how boring life would be if everything just went your way and everything was perfect? I would not want to live a life like that. Because then I'd be like, oh crap, how's my life going to be my next go around, my next incarnation. So we have to remember that, God has a plan for all of us. And our main purpose is to live this one to the fullest and seek Him and put Him before everything else. That's what's most important, is putting our Papa God before anything else. And I check myself daily when it comes to shopping, and I'm just saying, it's Christmas time, so I have to not be so hard on myself. If this Christmas time, it's a time for giving, and so and my family needs things, so I can't feel guilty about that. But I am very, very cautious about how I shop, and what I spend my money on. Do I need this? Now I have to be real cautious of what's in, what I'm buying for myself, as far as, cruelty-free, etc. And I'll be honest, I did buy me a pair of Doc Martens, and they are leather. But again, it's a balance. And I can't be funny about things. And I did do my research. The vegan ones are not worth the money. I've seen them. And the leather that they use from the cows, they're not killing cows for the leather. They're using what's left over after the meat is taken off the cows to feed people. So it's like if that would just go back, that skin and hide would go back and just sit in a landfill and rot into our earth. It's being used. So I did do my research on it. Again, I'm not trying to be so hard on myself and not be too weird and funny about things either, because life is a balance. We need our meat eaters, you know. We do. Not everybody could be vegan. We wouldn't have room in the world to offer all these plants. You know what I'm saying? It's a balance. So again, I cannot be funny about certain things. I have to keep a balance on every level. My moon sign's a Libra. I'm very, very Libra nowadays. My heart is Scorpio. My savage heart. You see my red savage heart, Scorpio. But I am a Libra too. My rising sign is Sag. So my daddy was a Sag. Happy birthday, Daddy. Rocky. Happy birthday, Rocky, my dad. My birth dad. He's in heaven. I can't remember how old he'd be today. He says more older than Methuselah is what he would say. He was born in 53. So you do the math. Almost 70? I don't know, something like that. No, almost 70. He'd be almost 70. I did quit, I will say I did quit buying bottled waters for a couple months. And I was just drinking the water out of I have a, like one of those Brita built-in systems. And, you know, I can't afford one of those big Ozarka machines. So they're very expensive. Just yet. I can't afford one just yet. But I love my Ozarka water, y'all. I missed it so much. The tap water out of the purifier was not doing it for me. I don't think I was getting enough water. I was not. The flavor, I couldn't hack it. I did it for 2 months, y'all. I was trying to help the environment. So I broke down and I had to get me some bottled water. And it tastes so much better, and I've already upped my water intake again. So again, it's a balance. I'm trying not to be so hard on myself. But other than that, Thanksgiving was really good. Life is good, no complaints. It's not perfect. Nothing will ever be perfect. My life will never be perfect. Nobody's life will ever be perfect. You know, that's why I stay off Facebook because it does. I'll be honest. It annoys me because I feel like it's just, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to be nice. But I do get on there randomly to check my memories and maybe to tag my honey in something. And then I'll see a quick face of like my sister in Christ. We would just spend Thanksgiving together. She's actually my ex-husband's sister, but she's the one that got me and my ex-husband, who has been a complete angel in my life. And him and my current husband are best of friends, but like literally best friends. They've lived together and everything. But I'll see her face pop up. I'm like, and then I'll love it. And then that's it. I don't scroll. Because I get annoyed because I know that, again, it's just, anyway, let's get off that topic. I'm not going to judge it. I try not to judge anything nowadays. I try to keep an open mind to everything because I know that things like that are needed for some people. It was needed for me. I was using it as a tool because my angels, my guides helped me through that. So again, I don't have an opinion on a lot of things these days. I just say, well, you know, God put it here for a reason. So it is what it is, and I don't have to take part in it. And I can have my opinion. I can have my opinion on things. So that's kind of my attitude these days. Keeping balance, not judging anything, because I know that everything was put here by my higher power, by a higher power, our higher power. So I don't judge anything. I don't really have my opinion on a lot of things. I keep them to myself. I vent to my husband. But again, I say, well, God put it here for a reason. So let me not judge it, you know. Let me move around. So I'm on here today, y'all. I want to teach y'all the Rose Cross ritual. It is amazing. My Pinky Poo, she says, hello, mommy. No, Lulu. She's Lucy / Lucifer is her name. One of many. Two-Face, La Cruella Devil. The love of my life. I'm just kidding. Daddy's the love of my life. My kids are everybody's the love of my life. She is the love of my life. She is. She's my brat. She teaches me a lot of patience. A whole lot of patience. She's adorable. She brings me a lot of joy. And I don't judge dogs anymore. The yapping does annoy me, but whatever. We put it here for a reason. So we're going to go over the Rose Cross ritual today. It is a beautiful, beautiful ritual, y'all. Now, this is something, if you're a practicing Thelemite, like myself, and I just want to mention this, I don't know if y'all know, but if you study the work of Crowley, and I do some, again, I get annoyed when I read some of his stuff because it's so, but again, I don't judge it. It is beautiful, beautifully written, and I'm just the kind of girl that's strict and to the point. And that's not just him, that's a lot. Dion Fortune and a lot of these occult writers, they write so dramatically that I'm just like, get to the point, just tell me already. But Aleister Crowley, his name was actually Edward Alexander Crowley. And I just thought that this was funny. I wanted to mention this. So my boys' middle names are Edward and then Alexander. And I thought, oh, wow. So hey, Crowley's in my heart. We have ties to each other. I get goosebumps when I said that. Yeah, Edward Alexander Crowley, that was his real name. And those were my boys' middle names. And I did not plan that. That was just strictly by fate. So, by God. So I thought that was really cool. I just wanted to mention that. But the Rose Cross ritual is something that you should incorporate into your high magic, into your routine. So I learned this after I learned the Lesser Hexagram ritual. So I learned the banishing, the LIRP and LBRP first. Then I learned the middle pillar. And then I learned the Lesser Hexagram ritual. And then I learned this. And so this is something that I threw into my routine. And now, and I don't do it all the time now. I do it about once a month. But when I first started this ritual, about a year ago, I did it for every day, 5 days a week sometimes. I incorporated it into, I would do the LIRP, the LIRH, then I would do the Rose Cross, and then I would do the middle pillar. And then that's up to you if you want to close out, banish after that, banish with the pentagram and hexagram ritual, or if you want to leave it open and wait to banish later in the evening. It's strictly up to you. It's what your soul calls for. That's what I say. A lot of times I would leave it open and go on about my day and not close up till later. So it's strictly up to you what you want to do. Just do what your soul tells you, what your heart says to do. A lot of times your intuition is not gonna guide you wrong, especially if you're doing this work, because you have guides helping you, even though you can't see it. Your ancestors and your angels are with you, and they are guiding you, and they are teaching you, but you're not gonna see them. You can hear them sometimes, and you know what I'm talking about, or you might see them. I don't know. I can't say how you perceive them, but just know that they're there and they are helping you, okay? Anybody that's doing this work has been called to do it for a reason, and we are all guided. Everyone has spirit guides, whether you want to believe it or not, you do. From the biggest non-believer to the hypocritical Christian sitting in church, we all have guides. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I've seen it, guides will make things worse for people that aren't in touch with them. So when you're in touch with your guides and you honor them and you make them aware that you are and you show them that you know that they're there, and you acknowledge, that was the word, and you acknowledge them, they come to you, you know what I'm saying? And they help you. So it's important to acknowledge our guides and to be in touch with them. So, yeah, so the Rose Cross ritual is something that will bring a lot of balance into your magic, into your home. It brought more peace into my home. So you're intoning the name Jesus, Yeshua, throughout your room, throughout your space. Now, my temple is behind me. You see my temple. That's my living room. My living room is my temple. I've worked in here before, in this space in my kitchen. I've worked in my bedroom when I've had to. You know, kids here, you know, I have to do ritual work. I'm going to the bedroom. I don't care if you hear me through the door or not. I'm very blessed. I have worked up to this. You know, at first I was awkward about it. I didn't want to, oh, my kids are going to think I'm weird, or you know. And now look at me. I've got altars set up in my living room, 2 altars set up in my living room. My kids think it's just normal, everyday stuff, you know. So, and it's at first, sometimes we have to work through that fear. I had to work through that fear of coming out on my, you know, that, hey, I am a magician, I am a high magic artist, and I cannot hide this, you know. And you can't hide it, because I know that, I'm sure some people do, you know. I kind of felt like I had to at first, but anyway, so, you know, my altar, again, my temple is my living room, and that has not been an easy thing, but it's worked out to my benefit in the long run. You know, I've had to work a lot of kinks out and stuff. It hasn't been easy, but it has. So, you know, it's a perspective. It's all about perspective on how you see things, you know. You come at it with a positive attitude, you're going to have positive results, you know. And even things that don't work out in the beginning will always work out for your better good in the end. I can promise you that, especially when you're doing this work. God has a plan, and he's right there with you. You know, your angels are right there with you. And they want you to succeed in this. I promise you. So everything that they take you through is for a reason, and you will always come out stronger and bolder and wiser through all of it, you know, even when things don't go your way. So I have to remember that too, you know. It's retraining my brain, reprogramming my brain out of the world into God, you know, into Jesus, high magic, you know. So, and I truly believe this is what we do in heaven, you know. Magic. So I have my own opinions on things, but the Rose Cross ritual will bring a lot of balance into your magic. I've heard someone say that yes, it can work as an invisibility, not invisibility. It will keep, let me tell you this, it will keep negative entities and energies away from you. Have I had less followers on YouTube? And no. I've heard somebody say that they don't do it. They've only done it a couple times. They don't do it because they're afraid they don't going to get followers on YouTube. I could care less about followers on YouTube. Okay? What I care about is succeeding in my high magic, succeeding in life, accomplishing the great work. I don't care about, that's what I say, I don't care about having less followers, or because the tortoise always wins. Slow and steady wins the race. You know what I'm saying? You have to perform this ritual. If you're not performing this ritual, you're not doing your magic right. You've got to perform this ritual. This ritual is very important. And I promise you, I know that in my heart, it's very important. You have to incorporate it into your daily ritual work. Again, however you choose to do it. I do it with the LIRP, the LIRH, then the Rose Cross, and then my middle pillar. You know, and sometimes you can do it without doing the middle pillar afterwards. It's just going to ramp things up, and it's going to bring balance into things. That's how I did it, and it worked for me. And I'm just bringing it to you what worked for me, and that's 100% guarantee. So it's a beautiful ritual. You are intoning the name of Jesus through your 4 corners in your altar. In your temple space. Why would you not do this ritual? You know what I'm saying? And yes, it will keep negative entities and energies out of your property, out of your home. When I do this, when I'm picturing the rose cross, the cross with the circle, that's what the rose cross is. It's a cross, and it's got a red circle around the middle of it. So when I picture this, when I'm visualizing it and drawing it through my temple space in the four corners of my living room, I picture it past that, out onto like the end of our property, or the end of the landlord's property, which is past some other trailers and stuff. So I take my work further out. I visualize it further out sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. You know? So we don't ever know what will work and what doesn't work. It's not going to work unless you try it. And that's my thing. You know, I've tried it. I've tried things a lot of different ways, and I've saw what worked and I've seen what works and what hasn't worked. You have to try it. You cannot be scared, because nothing bad is going to happen to you. It's more mental things. You know, it's more you working through your own fear, getting through it, and then you recognize little problems that you see from doing things the wrong way. For instance, you know, I was going too fast. I had too much energy. I was moving too fast, my magic, my energy, and I was becoming antsy and what do you call that? Nibbly. No, not nibbly. Gripey, a little gripey, uneasy, frustrated. And I have some other, I have life going on too. So that just kind of added to it. But I've noticed now that I've slowed my ritual work down some and I kind of brought it back to basics, I've just kind of mellowed out a lot. So, you know, if you're moving at a fast pace and you're trying to succeed and dude, Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. We all have to slow it down, bring it down a few notches. All we have is time. That's it. All we have is time. Time is on our side. So I have to remember that. You know, I have things in my mind. Oh, I want to learn this. I want to learn this. Like, I really want to learn the unicursal hexagram and how to use it and stuff. But I have to remember, God will bring that to me in time. And he's telling me next year. You know, life is too short to try to rush through this work. You know, this stuff was only brought to me less than 3 years ago. You know, 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years. So, you know, I cannot rush through this. You've got people that have been doing this work for, you know, years and years and years. And there's things that, it doesn't matter. You can be like several people, 20 plus years and still got things to learn. It doesn't matter. You will be learning things until the day you die. So I had to remember that. And I had to get that through my head. Hold on, Stevie. I'll let you out in a minute. I had to get that through my head, that I had to slow down and bring it back to basics, and kind of, put a halt on things. And since I did, I've mellowed out. I'm a lot more peaceful. I'm just doing my invoking and my banishing, and even then I haven't been doing it every day. And God says, and that's okay. It's okay. And so, and I love my middle pillar, but I was doing it like 5 times a week, but I brought that down again to a couple times a week. I love doing my middle pillar, but right now it's Christmas time too. I got a lot going on, I've got presents to wrap and gifts to purchase, and I'm having a good time with it. I'm trying not to stress over things. We're not traveling this Christmas. We're staying home due to my husband's work. So it's going to be a real peaceful Christmas. I might have a little dental work done. Not sure. Not stressing it. If I don't get it done until the beginning of the year, so be it. Not a big deal. But other than that, it's important to take things slow and enjoy life. Enjoy the little moments with your children, with your animals. Animals are children, same thing. If you don't have human children, then, enjoy it's the little things, y'all, because before you know it, A year goes by, 2 years go by, and then boom, you know, that time's gone. So it's very important to slow down, be in the moment, and enjoy the little things, you know, like drinking water, my Ozarka water, you know, eating my grits or my sweet potatoes, you know. I try to slow down my eating. I get hungry sometimes because my food digests so quickly. You know, not eating the meat and the dairy and the gluten. I don't do gluten. I don't do sugar. I did buy this almond, Blue Diamond almond brownie for Thanksgiving. I barely ate any of it. It had quite a bit of sugar in it. So I took a couple bites. That was it. Thank God I accidentally left it with my boys and my ex-husband. Because if not, I told my husband, I said, I would have been in that brownie. But I left it with them. And good thing they accidentally took it, which was a good thing. And but that's my extent of sugar. And I do natural sugars that come in fruits and stuff, but I don't anything that's got added sugars I try to stay away from. Now a few grams of added sugars is okay, but I'm talking about, like, you know, they have dairy-free vegan ice cream, but loaded with sugar. Can't do them. I don't do ice cream at all. I did find this sherbet that's no fat, no dairy, no sugar, and it's practically like flavored ice water. But again, I don't like spending $5 on a pint of sherbet. And I think that's stupid when I don't need it and I can go without it. I don't crave any of that stuff anymore. I'm very happy with the things I eat, with the veggies and the fruits and grits and oatmeal. And I do a gluten-free Bob's Red Mill. They're great. His products are great. He even makes an egg substitute for vegans, but I haven't tried it. But I do that. I do the Southwest quinoa salad. I love quinoa. Quinoa is one of my favorites. I do rice and potatoes. Those are the kinds of things I do, you know, and hey, you know, I'm happy. I'm happy and I don't need all that other stuff. I don't crave it. And I sit there and I prepare meat dishes for my family. I don't crave it. I'm very cautious about getting it near my food or anything, but I don't judge it anymore. I try not to say, ugh. Sometimes I do. The grease annoys me, you know, but that's another thing, is removing that grease from your system. I feel so much better. My skin's a lot better. My hair, you know, I wash my hair once a week, every 5 days to once a week. My hair doesn't get greasy like it used to. I have what's that word? Embraced my little grays, but it's like highlights. So it could be worse, you know. God is good. God is good. So on to the Rose Cross ritual. Let's go ahead and get started on that. Now, you will need a stick of incense, and that's it. I've even done it with my wand, my fingers. I call that my wand, my sword mudra. I've even done it that way without the incense. But I do love the incense because I like the scents and stuff. Sometimes some incense makes me nauseous, but we're not going to go there. I don't do a whole lot of incense. My magic has been just as powerful without, and maybe I will do more incense in the future. I don't know. But this, you'll need a stick of incense. And so you are going to start out. Now at the end when I'm done, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to perform the LVX that goes with this. We'll close that out with the LVX. And the LVX that goes with this is just a tad bit different than the LVX that goes with your lesser hexagram ritual. It's just switching the words up is all, but it's the same exact LVX. And I will stand up and perform that at the end. So you're going to stand facing the east, all right? And you're going to perform the QC. Now we all know how to do the QC, I hope. All right? Excuse me. Okay. So we're facing the east and we are doing the QC, okay? So all we do is we walk over with our stick of incense and we point it into the corner of the room and we draw a cross with the circle. Let me show you. Set this down. This is what we draw, okay? The cross with the circle. And we draw the circle clockwise. starting right here at this edge of the cross. And I know my circle's all wonky. I drew this way back. Y'all, I've been trying to do this rose cross, and I've even videotaped it and everything, but nothing ever worked out. So I was like, yeah, I'm not posting that. We're gonna wait, and that's what I do. I let God do the work. So it wasn't time. So that's what your rose cross is gonna look like. Super simple. And when you're drawing it, you're gonna say, Yeshua, and then charge it with your incense stick. Visualize it beaming up really bright. That's what I mean when I say charge it. You visualize it real bright, taking its spot in that corner of your room, like it's there and it's not going anywhere. Okay, so you perform the QC. You walk to the southeast. Now I have 2 written here because at the end you're going to go back over this first one that you've drawn with a bigger rose cross. So just take that out and just focus on this little one now. So we're walking to the southeast. We're drawing a gold line. Oh, no, we're going to start out we're performing the QC facing the east. And we're going to just walk over to the corner of our room, point the incense in the corner, upper corner. Okay, and you're going to draw the rose cross and Yeshua and charge it. You understand what I'm saying? You draw the rose cross, and as you're drawing the circle around it, you intone the name Yeshua, and then charge it. That's it. And then you're going to draw your gold line across your living room or temple space to the southwest, and you're going to do the same thing. Draw the rose cross, intone the name Yeshua, charge it, and you're going to take your gold line, you're going to come over to the northwest, you're going to do the same thing, and you're going to close it off, come over to the northeast, do the same thing. So you've got crosses, rose crosses drawn in each quadrant of your room. You're going to come back, touch touch the rose cross, and walk across your room from the southeast. Stop in the middle. Draw your rose cross, intone the name Yeshua, charge it. Come back over here to the northwest, touch it. You don't draw it again, you just touch it. Touch your rose cross that you drew before. And then you're going to go back through. So you're going to go back to the southeast side, but you're going to stop in the middle again and draw another rose cross. Intone the name and charge it. Then you're going to walk back over to the southeast. Just touch your cross again. Touch the one you previously drew. We're going to go back over it, and we're following it around to the southwest again. You're going to touch the rose cross you previously drew. Then you're going to go back across. You're going to go on the other sides of your room. You're going to go back to the northeast. So you're just taking it across just like you did before, from the southeast to the to the northwest. So you, and then you're going to stop, do your rose cross, intone the name Yeshua, charge it, back, touch, and then come back across. Do the same thing. Draw your rose cross with the name Yeshua, charge it, and then go back, touch. And then you're going to come across, touch. You don't have to go back across again. You just, so you've already covered your temple space. So that's why you come back to the northwest, just touch. Closing it off at this point. Touch the rose cross, and then you're going to come back. Now this is where your second rose cross comes in, right here in your starting corner. You're going to draw that rose cross over your previous rose cross, but draw this one twice as big. And this time you're going to vibrate the name on the top half of the circle. Set that down. On the top half of the circle is going to be Yeshua, and then finish it off Yeheshua Yovashah. Yeheshua. Yeheshua Yovashah. And that's it. That's your last rose cross. That's it. And you stop. And you go back to the middle of your temple, facing the east. And that's when you perform the LVX. And I'm going to do that in just a second. Super simple. It is super simple. At first, I was like, I got a little confused. But it's not. Golden Dawn Magic. That's the book. Look up in the glossary, Rose Cross Ritual. It'll tell you exactly how to do it, just like I told you to do it. Exactly like I told you to do it. I promise you, word for word. All right. So it's that simple. That simple. You're just drawing the Rose Cross ritual in all 4 quadrants of your room or your temple space. In the middle, you do it 4 times, once, 2 on this side. And then when you come over here, you go back, draw it once, touch, come back, draw it again. I want to say it says 6 times total, but really you're drawing it 8 times. 1, 2, well, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're touching, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're actually drawing your rose cross 9 times, to be exact. And then when you, that's it. You draw that one, and you stop, and you walk around, and you come back to your facing, and back to your temple, just facing the east where you started doing the QC. You can put your incense down or something. I have this incense stick holder in front of me. I'll set it right there. Then you perform the LVX. And again, the LVX is going to be a little different than what you do with your hexagram ritual. It's just switching it up a bit. Excuse me while I adjust all this. Okay. Also, whenever you're come back to your room, come back to the east, facing the east, where you started when you first performed the QC, you can visualize, and sometimes I do this, another cross below my feet. A rose cross below my feet, and vibrate, and you can do Yeshua. You can do it visually or you can do it physically. Whatever you choose to do, but you can do that as well. A closing cross beneath you. That will not hurt. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just added protection. Okay? This word is very powerful. The rose cross itself is very powerful. As you go further along, you will visualize it stronger and stronger. When I first started this, I was like, are my visuals ever going to get any better? And they have. Now my visuals are great, and they're just continuing to get better and better. But be patient with yourself. Again, this is slow, progressive. Work is slow and progressive. All right? This is not something that happens overnight. Some things will happen overnight, but for the most part, it's slow and progressive. Be patient. Patience is a virtue. Well, we know that, duh. But patience is important, okay? Very important. It's important, especially for the magician, all right? All right, now I'm going to perform the LVX to close out my Rose Cross ritual. I-N-R-I Enri Yod Nun Resh Yod Virgo Isis. Oh no, let me stop. I gotta start over, y'all, because you do not start out saying that, and sometimes you'll mess up, and you just go back and you switch. So I-N-R-I Enri. And I always picture these coming out of my chest, speaking from my chest, going out into the astral. Yod, Nun, Resh, Yod. Then you go into the sign of Osiris slain. Yes, I see you, Stevie. She loves when I do this. The sign of the morning of Isis. The sign of Typhon and Apophis. the sign of Osiris risen. L V X Lux, the light of the cross. Virgo, Isis, mighty mother. Scorpio, Apophis, destroyer. Soul, Osiris, slain and risen. E-I-O. Exarpe, Hokema, Inayenta, Beitoyim. May the divine light descend upon me. Now those are the 4 words that you say at the end of the LVX of the Rose Cross Ritual. Okay. Those will also be in the Golden Dawn. Golden Dawn Magic is the name of the book. It's what I've learned most everything from, you know. So I've read others. There's some, the Watchtower Rituals in there as well. I'll be performing that one probably next year. Let's start that. There's other rituals that I've done, but I had to bring it down a notch, several notches. So, that is the most basic book you can get, and it just really tells you simple step by step. I remember when I first was given that book, I was like, oh my gosh, I'll never even know. I felt like I was never going to know what it was about or understand it. And it's actually, I haven't picked it up in a while, but I haven't needed to. So XRP, you can, those words are in there. And that's air, water, earth, and fire. What did I leave out? Fire, earth, air, water. Yeah. So I'm thinking as from the hexagram ritual standpoint. But yeah, it's in there. Those are the 4 words that you intone. You say at the end of it. I don't want to go back and say them again because right now my brain's not, it's fried. It's on overload. But that was it. The Rose Cross Ritual is very important. If you have any questions, reach out to me. That's all you have to do. Comment on my YouTube video. You can reach me through, I have a Facebook page that I do check every day because that is my business page. That is the High Magic Experience in H-Town. The High Magic Experience in H-Town. That's my Facebook page. I go by Lilith Star on Facebook. I do not go by my real name, Robin. I feel like my HGA is Lilith. So I know my HGA is Lilith. So that's it. That's it. I'm going to try to come back before Christmas. I am going to come back for Christmas because I want to. I've been waiting and trying to put things off till I got like a head camera and all this, but I'm not even going to worry about that. I want to perform, and I will get one day, but, and I've looked into, they have holders for my phone that I could put on my forehead and stuff like that. So I might get one of those. They're relatively cheap. But the Alpha Omega Invocation is something that I just love, and it's beautiful, and it will bring some light into your world. And so, and that one is nothing to do with, I never learned that through Golden Dawn or anything. That was through Leslie McQuaid, and she performs it with her husband. They do lives and stuff. I don't know if they do that anymore, but they used to. And then my childhood best friend, who actually brought the Golden Dawn magic into my life, performed that. And then so I fell in love with it. And and then I asked him, he was down on vacation, and I asked him, you got to show me this ritual. So he showed it to me. He taught me at this little beach. And so it's a beautiful ritual. It's so pretty. I love it. And I've kind of tweaked it to how I like it. And I'm still tweaking it. I've been doing it for several months. And So I am going to air that soon, probably before Christmas, but I'm not real sure yet. Again, I'm not on my time, I'm on God's time, Papa's time. So I love you, my little angels. I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas if I'm not back on here before Christmas, but I will be. I promise you I will be, because it's barely November 29th, y'all. I got to come in. I'll be back in a week or two. Who knows? Maybe next week. You know what I'm saying? So I am going to be on TikTok doing the QC and banishing, just to bring it out in the public a little bit. And because that's what I'm supposed to do. So it is what it is, you know. It's not easy being cheesy. That's what I say. So I love you. I love y'all. I really do. And again, y'all can reach out to me if you need me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and have a very blessed week. All right. And I'll be back soon. I love you, my angels. Bye for now.